Who was the first President of India? Answer Dr. Rajendra Prasad. Who was the first Prime Minister of India? Answer Jawaharlal Nehru. Who was the first woman Prime Minister of India? Answer Indira Gandhi. Who was the first Vice President of India? Answer Dr. S. Radhakrishnan. Who was the first woman President of India? Answer Pratibha Patil. Who was the first Chief Justice of India? Answer H.J. Kania. Who was the first Speaker of the Lok Sabha? Answer J.V. Mavlankar. Who was the first Chief Election Commissioner of India? Answer Sukumar Sen. Who was the first Home Minister of India? Answer Sardar Vallabhai Patel. Who was the first Law Minister of India? Answer B.R. Ambedkar. Who was the first Indian in space? Answer Rakesh Sharma. What was the name of India's first satellite? Answer Aryabhatta. Who was the first Indian woman to go into space? Answer Kalpana Chawla. What was India's first nuclear reactor? Answer Apsara. Who was the first Field Marshal of India? Answer Sam Manekshaw. Who was the first Commander-in-Chief of Indian Army? Answer K.M. Kariyappa. Who was the first woman IPS officer in India? Answer Kiran Bedi. Who was the first person to receive Paramveer Chakra? Answer Major Somnath Sharma. Which was the first indigenous Indian aircraft carrier? Answer INS Vikrant. Who was the first Indian woman to fly a fighter aircraft solo? Answer Avani Chaturvedi. Who was the first Indian to win Nobel Prize? Answer Rabindranath Tagore. Who was the first Indian to win Nobel Prize in Physics? Answer C.V. Raman. Who was the first Indian woman to win Nobel Peace Prize? Answer Mother Teresa. Who was the first Indian to win an Oscar? Answer Bhanu Attaiah. Who was the first Indian to win the Magsaysay Award? Answer Acharya Vinoba Bhave. Who was the first Indian woman to become Miss World? Answer Rita Faria. Who was the first Indian woman to become Miss Universe? Answer Sushmita Sen. Who was the first person to receive the Jnanapith Award? Answer G. Shankara Kurup. Who was the first Indian woman to receive the Bharat Ratna? Answer Indira Gandhi. Who was the first Indian musician to receive Bharat Ratna? Answer M.S. Subbulakshmi. Who was the first Indian woman to win an Olympic medal? Answer Karnam Malleshwari. Who won the first individual gold medal for India at the Olympics? Answer Abhinav Bindra. Who was the first Indian woman to win silver medal in Olympics? Answer P.V. Sindhu. Who was the first Indian to swim across English Channel? Answer Mihir Sen. Who was the first Indian woman to swim across English Channel? Answer Aarti Sa. Who was the first Indian to win All England Badminton Championship? Answer Prakash Padukone. First Indian to score triple century in Test cricket? Answer Virendra Sehwag. First Indian to win Grand Slam title in tennis? Answer Mahesh Bhupat. First Indian woman to reach final of an Olympic track event? Answer P.T. Usha. First Indian to win Chess World Championship? Answer Vishwanathan Anand. First Indian woman to scale Mount Everest? Answer Bajendri Pal. Which was the first university in India? Answer Nalanda University. Where was the first post office opened in India? Answer Kolkata. What was the name of India's first sound movie? Answer Alam Ara. Who was the first Indian to join Indian Civil Services? Answer Satyendranath Tagore. Which was first Indian newspaper? Answer Bengal Gazette. Which was the first bank in India? Answer Bank of Hindustan. Who was the first woman governor of an Indian state? Answer Sarojini Naidu. First Indian woman to become a judge of the Supreme Court? Answer M. Fatima Bibi. Which city was the first capital of British India? Answer Kolkata.